In this video I'm going to show you some properties of nodes, that is species that can be placed on a canvas. So to put species nodes on a canvas, select the node button on the left hand toolbar and then just use the left mouse button to drop nodes onto the canvas. And you'll see that default names are given to the nodes, but I'll show you how to change those in a minute. Now you can select nodes by just selecting them like this, and once selected you can do things like change the size, or you can right click and do things like change the node status to a boundary node. So that means that the node is fixed and won't change during a simulation. I can change it back. The other thing I can do, if you're showing a model to a user and you don't want them to mess around with the positions of the nodes, you can actually lock the nodes. So if I right click and lock, I can tell it's locked because now it's got this little black circle in the corner. I can't move it. Okay, so the others I can move about by selecting and moving, but this one I can't. And now I can select a whole bunch of them at once by drawing a rectangle around them with the left mouse button. Select, lock. Now these are all locked as well. Okay. Now if I want to lock all of them at once, I can either select them all, or I can go to the edit menu and select all nodes, then right click, unlock. They're all unlocked and now I can move them about. Now talking about moving nodes, I can either move them about with the mouse like that, or I can use the cursor key to move them up and down, left and right. This gives you a little bit more precision. If I select multiple nodes and I use the cursor keys, I can move the whole selected block around, or if I hold Alt down, select any one of the nodes, I can move the whole block. Okay. The other thing I can do is create alias nodes. So let me create a bunch of alias nodes. And these are sort of copies of the original node. They represent this, but they represent the same node. So if I were to draw a reaction from, say, node 2 to node 0, and I also drew a reaction from, say, node 4 to this alias, that's equivalent to me drawing a reaction from node 4 to node 0. These alias nodes are very useful for untangling a complex network. For example, if you have ATP in your model, you'll find that there are many reactions that converge on ATP or leave ATP, and it becomes a bit of a rat's nest. Well, instead of having that, you can create aliases for the ATP node and then break up the network that way. Right? But these alias nodes are basically the same as the original node, so-called master node. And if I want to know what the master node is, I just right click on one of the alias nodes and select master node, and it tells me that's the master node. Now the other thing I can do, I can of course delete these aliases. I can do all that kind of thing. Let's say I want to change the name of the node. So let's say I want to change the name of node 0. So this time I select properties. This panel comes up, and then I can change it to something else like glucose. Alright, and now it's changed. Or if I can set the concentration there as well. Now you may be wondering that a dialog box came up. What happened was, because there was a reaction between the two and I changed the name of it, it wanted me to know whether the rate law for this reaction, the names in the rate law should be changed automatically, and I said yes. That's usually the easiest default thing to do. Okay. The other thing, let me select that node again. I can display the initial concentration in the node. There you can see the 10 there. Or I can also change, let me bring this over, I can also change many display characteristics. For example, I can change the color gradients for that sort of a green, or let's change it the other way around, looks better probably. I can have radial or horizontal and so on. This is mainly for decoration. I can change the edge color, maybe to a dark green like that. Change the edge thickness, which may or may not be useful. I can change the position of the text, either bottom, middle or top, or not have it at all. And I can change the style of the boundary node as well. So here's the boundary node, it has a particular style, but I can change the styles if I want to. And finally I have here, I can move the node width. I can change the node width and height with a fair degree of precision by using these spin edit controls. Okay, I think that's all I want to say about the nodes. Okay, thanks.